The Seller Club Podcast, episode number 23. This is Glenn, Hustler Hacks. Anna's here.
Yes, I am.
I'm here.
Kenny's here.
We're ready.
We're ready. Let's drop that beat. All right, very special episode today. Better than the rest. Ooh. Better than the usual episodes that we run. This one is episode number 23.
23 is my favorite number yet, y'all.
Michael Jordan.
Jumpman.
Yeah, exactly.
3.
All right.
Did you see? I couldn't decide if I was going to say y'all or you guys, and I got tied up.
Y'all. I like y'all.
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 Do you guys say y'all there, Glenn?
I started
Down in
saying y'all
Texas?
living in the South.
Huh?
Yeah.
Down in Texas?
For real?
Oh, not in El Paso. We don't really say y'all that much.
It's El Paso, Texas. So still counts.
But
Still
in
counts.
Austin, maybe you probably would. But
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We have a mall called Florence Mall, and I guess they put it on the water tower. And
Oh.
I guess you're not allowed to, I guess, advertise a mall on a water tower or something like that. So they changed the M to Y. So it's Florence, y'all.
Florence, y'all. That's funny.
I like that. All right, so what are we doing today, Kenny?
Well, today is the first day of second quarter.
It is. Order your shipping supplies.
Oh, which reminds me, this is recorded before the second quarter. I gotta use my coupon.
Oh my gosh, Ken,
please
your
use it.
Q1 coupon?
Yes, I have to.
Ow.
Glenn, did you use yours already?
I did. I bought boxes.
He's really good at buying boxes.
I
He uses it
needed
for
them.
his hats.
Yeah.
I needed those.
He's a pro.
Yeah, he ships his whatnot sales on an eBay box.
We have to cover it with labels and stickers. Just kidding.
April Fools.
No, he uses eBay tape.
eBay tape. eBay
And
tape.
we
eBay
know
boxes.
who your true love is.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
That's where my heart is.
Yeah.
eBay will always have my heart.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
true. And your free shipping supplies coupon.
Yeah,
voucher.
just
Oh,
whatnot has his wallet right now.
Yes, they do have it tied up.
But no, so we're talking about Q1 review. So we're gonna talk about how good it went, how bad it went,
Whoa.
or how terribly it went.
How ugly, good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh.
Also, we're gonna compare percentage changes. I think that's always a good thing. If we are off to a hot start or a slow start, we could compare it to last year, how we started our year, and are we setting ourselves up to success or a slow start? So we're gonna discuss that. We're all three gonna take each kind of like side of the box or of the trapezoidal box because there's only 3 of us. It's not gonna be a
Triangle?
4-corner.
Triangle?
Oh, triangle.
You gotta
Trapezoid still has 4.
April
Listen.
Fools. He was kidding around.
Yes.
He meant triangle.
Yeah.
Ken
He's
is
running the triangle
April Fool
offense.
today.
Yeah. This is actually not Ken. This is Ken's.
Phil.
Yeah. This is Ken from Wish.
Trapezoidal.
Trapezoidal. Yeah,
like
I know.
that.
I mean, the audience is on the other side. Takes the other side.
They're working
Oh,
so hard trying to imagine shapes right now.
Yeah.
I know.
We're
I'm
putting them
actually
through
trying-
it.
I might actually have to Google the trapezoidal. Oh, I don't know why I thought it was 3
What?
sides.
Why that happened, we don't know.
We'll have a geometry lesson next episode.
Oh,
Okay.
that is cool. Yeah, this is not a trapezoidal episode. This is not a geometry episode.
Neither.
All right, come on, Ken. Let's pick it back up. So, we got this. So we are going to be talking about the difference, right, and the changes in the business. Also, maybe this is a cool time that you guys could evaluate your business and think about the last 90 days. What I'm going to be talking about, I'll be the reporter about traffic. So, Ken, talk about traffic. All right.
Yes, please enlighten us.
I will. So, if you go to your eBay dashboard on the Seller Hub, click Performance,
Okay.
and
I'm
right
here.
there you could check your traffic.
Okay, let me click on that.
Crazy enough, let's click the time or the date from January 1st to the current date.
Okay.
Now, it is comparing to the previous 90 days. Basically, if we're looking at Q1 right now, this is comparing to Q4.
Oh,
Right.
that's a
So-
big difference.
It's a big difference, right? Big shopping spree. Now, Q1, do people still have money to spend? And I'm happy to report the great news is the percentage of change from this quarter and last quarter is literally 0% currently.
Really?
So it just
So-
stayed the same.
Stayed the same,
So
bro.
this is Q5.
crazy.
Or was.
This is Q5. Q1 was technically Q5.
Wow.
So my impressions have stayed the same. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's wild. So
Why
what's
is
the
that?
impression numbers?
Impression 37 million.
Woo.
37 million the last 90 days. So why? Maybe because the real Ken, the smart Ken,
Not Wish Ken.
not Wish Ken, predicted that 2024 was going to be a little tough. 2024 was going to be a little bit more budget conscious style of shopping. So what I did, and together with the brainstorming power of all of us three, I've intentionally lowered my average sale price. Meaning, I'm trying to sell more affordable stuff. So, as we stand on this quarter compared to the last quarter, my average sale price is down by 20%. So, if I was selling $100, you do the math, per item, now I'm only doing $80. Hence,
So-
the reason why my product's probably more attractive.
Did you, hence the more impressions, or the same impressions as a Q4?
Yep.
Now, did you lower your average sale price intentionally by sourcing differently, or by lowering your prices or taking lower offers? Like, what all plays into that decision?
I would say both. I have, in the new era of reselling, if you think about the last 3 years, we've gone through COVID stimulus money, where everything was selling for over retail and everything was doing well. So currently, I am more flexible with taking less offers if it is a product that I can easily replenish. Not exact same product, but the quality of product, right? So if it's, in the sneaker world, if it's a LeBron basketball shoe or a Giannis basketball shoe or a KD basketball shoe, if I'm trying to sell it for $100 or $80, I'd be more than willing to give 10 to 15% off on offers. And then, given that I still have my profit margin in the middle, I'm willing to take that. So that is one. And then the intentionally buying lesser ASP items that I can sell.
Yeah.
I think the sweet spot really to do a lot more volume with the kind of inventory access that I have is really between the $75 to $100 range. And that kind of shoe category is, like this kind of shoes retail for around $130 to $180. So
Yeah.
the people are getting it from
good
me.
deal. Yeah.
Good deal. It's like under retail deals on eBay. So it's kind of like a being on that win-win situation category where the consumers are getting a discount off of retail and at the same time I'm making my money. So that's kind of been like the Q1 big difference.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that it was going to be this great of a Q1 strategy, for foreseeing it that early, or but in some ways I was leaning towards it, but I think the results showed I would say 30 to 50% way better than what I thought it was gonna be. So
30 to 50% way better. I love
yeah,
that.
I like that. Right. That's a 20% swing, but
Yeah.
you can be hopeful. But I'm not the type of guy that's super hopeful, right?
Yeah, you're like
it's
trying to
just-
be realistic.
Yeah, realistic at the same time.
Conservative,
If it hits, it hits. But I'm gonna try to swing. I'm gonna try to swing for the fences.
I think it's interesting, to hear kind of the moving parts behind that change and, how all of that flows into like just one metric, right? The impressions that you're seeing. Because I think for a lot of us, especially people like me who have like a longer tail type of inventory, it feels like making a change in your store always takes forever, right? It feels like every change is a gradual change. So it's cool to hear that like from one quarter to the next, you kind of foresaw what you thought was going to happen this year with people's budgets and sourcing, and you worked all of that together. And here you are just one quarter later seeing the results that you kind of anticipated. And you did make changes in how you sourced, how you priced, how you engaged with buyers and offers and stuff like in the meantime. So it seems like that feels like a pretty relatively quick move to me,
Yeah, and also to point out, my average click-through rate is at 0.2%, and then my average conversion rate is 1.1%. So this is definitely on the higher spectrum of conversion rate. So whether I'm taking their offers, whether I'm sending tasty offers or best offers out there, or my pricing is just way better, or maybe there's much less competition. What about that? What do you think about that concept, Glenn?
Competition, I think, for sure. I think we're in a weird market right now with buying and selling. I think, as we talked about before, with a lot of sellers getting like full-time jobs or even part-time jobs now, and kind of like refocusing what they want to do with their business, I feel like competition is a lot lower across all platforms. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I've been seeing it's almost like the same sellers, the same results, the same photos you can already recognize. And I'm seeing them a lot more frequently when I search for.
So it's not like they're covered and ranked down already.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I definitely see that as a big difference here. What was your click-through and sales again?
0.2 click-through and 1.1 conversion.
Okay, very nice.
Mine's actually
I like
really
that.
similar.
That's good.
All right. So are we doing traffic for everybody? Or,
I mean, if you want
just
to
Ken?
share some, yeah. I mean, share
that'll be
some of
quick?
yours.
That'll
If
be
you,
quick?
yeah.
Hurry
Okay.
up, Glenn.
Mine's complete opposite, because obviously I've been selling more on the whatnot side.
yeah.
But
Have you listed any on eBay at all?
I haven't listed anything new at all.
Since
but
this year?
Since this whole quarter, nothing new.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay. This is an interesting. So this is to combat that. You gotta lose every day, bro. You gotta lose every day.
Yeah.
Let's see.
However, I'm gonna wave a red flag at you about this because I lived it last year. But go ahead. One quarter will definitely not kill you, in my opinion. Go for it. Let's hear your traffic.
Okay. Go ahead. Let's
Go
hear
ahead.
it then. Okay, so my impressions right now is 8.7 million on impressions.
Is that the whole quarter?
Yes.
Okay.
My prior time period percentage down 80%. My impressions during October 15th was 800,000 alone.
Wow. Yeah. So your Q4 was probably like 40
Wait.
million. And Ken, you just said yours was like 35 million or
Yeah.
something.
37, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
37. Okay, yeah.
So it had to have been probably around there in that Kenny range. Sold for this quarter 123 items. And which is also down 90%.
So see, it's very relative to traffic, right? Like just your impression is 80% down. Hence, nobody's really seeing your item, or you don't have that much enough item compared to last quarter. because everybody bought the good stuff already last quarters, and you haven't listed anything. So basically, this is kind of like either your secondary or third tier products that's available right now in the market.
Yeah. Here's
But
the
still
interesting
able
part.
to pull 8 million. 8 million. That's pretty good, decent still.
Interesting part. Average
Okay.
sales price per item is up 26%.
Oh.
Because you're not listing the little stuff at all.
Because I took
Well, 'cause
down
you're not listing
all
anything
of
at
the
all.
Oh,
little
you
stuff.
took down all the little stuff.
I
Yeah.
took down all of the little stuff. So all little stuff is gone. Everything that it's been selling from here on out, I know for sure has been 50 or higher, because what's
Yeah.
been selling right now for the spring is all golf. I have a lot of
Outdoor
golf
sports,
shoes.
Outdoor sports, right?
Those have been moving. I think the golf, I know I sold 5 pairs on Monday, which was my sickest day. 5 pairs sold.
Not sick in a good way. Like,
Yeah.
Sick,
like,
right?
I was
yeah,
sick
fever,
like,
sick,
with
yeah.
ill.
with fever, and I had to ship those out, and I was like, ugh, trying to get to the storage unit, crawling in,
Poor Glenn.
and one sold for 120, so I was happy about that.
Ooh.
But then
I made him
jersey,
put a little pep in your crawl.
yeah, the jersey sold for 325, which is even
Woo.
better. So
That's way better.
I was able to get more of those type of jerseys. So that's why I think for this next quarter, though, my focus is, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to just like disband eBay, like everything's just gone. My goal is to be adding in way higher priced items
Yeah.
to where, like, I know Ken's saying like affordable pricing, $80. I'm going for like every
Yeah.
item that I'm going to list is not only going to be first page, but it's going to be something that probably
Yeah.
you won't be able to find anywhere else. Type of
So
thing.
so yeah, you're talking about like hard to find items and stuff
Yeah.
like that, which we've talked about, that the eBay strength, and when you have products that it's only first page or you only
Yeah.
have that, because I kind of have like a clue of what he's trying to list is a lot of the collectibles that you've bought. I think those are the stuff that one is higher ASP all of a sudden. Now your time, your dollars per hour of work
Yeah.
putting on eBay is now way more worth it. Now you would think you would be more motivated to list it, right?
yeah,
It's just
100%.
super duper curated.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
That's
Sorry,
great.
I took a lot of time. Anna,
No,
go ahead.
no. That's good. That's good.
We were
That's
not
good.
actually rushing you. It's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like
fine.
it's like everybody listening. It's like, yeah, man, Glenn's human.
I know.
Man,
He's human.
he's
actually
down. Yeah, he's down.
He hasn't listed.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this guy?
Whoa.
He got
But
sick.
I love the idea. I love the idea though that the churn of whatnot is like the side hustle to the like golden curated eBay store. Like
Yeah,
it's
I think
like-
you need both. I mean,
Yeah.
Whatnot, you shouldn't
Yeah.
even be selling. I have these jerseys here that will never touch Whatnot.
right.
Yeah.
And it's
Shoes
like-
that will never touch Whatnot.
It's
So you're
just
saying
different
that- yeah.
strategies for
Yeah.
different types of stuff. I think that's a very nuanced approach.
So you're saying that there has to be 2 of us each. So there's eBay Ken and Whatnot Ken. So it's
Mercari Ken.
oh yeah.
I mean, we already met the Wish Ken, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's forget that guy. I don't even know what trapezoid means.
Poshmark Ken.
Poshmark Ken. Ooh.
Just
I
Posh
like that.
Ken.
Posh
Just
Ken.
Posh
Ken.
Oh. And
Okay.
Depop Anna.
Depop
Yeah.
Anna.
Listen, we're gonna talk about that. Have y'all sold anything on Depop?
Nope. Zero.
That's what I thought. That's what I've sold more than 0. I'll tell you that.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't actually have a lot to say about traffic except that my click through and conversion are very similar. I'm right about 25.5 million impressions, but all of that is up and up from last. What is this? Last year? No, last quarter. From
Last quarter compared to
Yeah.
Q4 technically, right?
Yeah. So, but I actually wanted to talk more about my actual sales numbers.
The money, the real money.
The actual money, not just the impressions.
We don't make
but-
money off impressions, Glenn.
I mean, not directly. But yeah, I look at the sales, the sales part of the performance tab more than anything else when I'm looking at it. And I also have good news to report there because compared to, let's see, I guess I will look at last quarter. So this quarter, or Q1, this past quarter, versus the, Q4 of last year, my total sales, like my gross sales, is up over 11% from Q4, which is, I'm telling you guys, totally unheard of for me. Q4 is usually like
highest?
By far.
Right.
It's between 30 and 40% of my gross for the whole year is usually in Q4. So I never have a Q1 that's higher and better than Q4, like literally ever. So there's a first for everything. Also, though, my net sales is actually up and my selling costs are down. So my net sales is up 6.7%, which is awesome. My average sale price is down about 4.5%. But I'm once again I wasn't doing any kind of semi-liquidating at all. Like in Q4 of last year, I was just kind of letting it ride and focusing on listing new stuff again because I hadn't for a long time in the process of moving earlier last year and everything like that. So I was, just listing and shipping, not semi-liquidating at all. Now I'm back on my semi-liquidating game because I want to free up some more space in my basement, my e-basement, and I have a whole lot more to say about that at a later date because I'm working on it, trying to get it all figured out. But I have like basically a huge clearance section right now in my eBay store, and so stuff is selling through a lot cheaper from that section, or has been, during Q1 and still is going into Q2. So that makes sense for like the little bit lower ASP, but I love to see that my actual net is still up and my selling costs are down because I've been using so much more ground advantage when I'm shipping, so my average shipping price has gone down.
True.
And I have taken my promoted listings down a little bit, percentage wise. So I'm like actually seeing more dollars in my pocket, which is awesome. And the thing I'm most excited about isn't necessarily on this sales page, but just from looking at my my Q1 stuff on my own, I can tell you that it's finally getting back to normal. Like I'm finally selling like regularly again, 10 items plus a day.
Nice.
Which like just right at the end of Q1 that started to be the case. And that's, in my past experience, that's kind of a weird time for things to like suddenly be picking up a lot. So, but it's just really cool. Like the end of Q1 was finally like, okay, this is going to be back to what my normal everyday any given month kind of gross sales used to be. And that's a huge relief to me because I have not seen that kind of stability or predictability in well over a year. I mean, maybe a year and a half. So I'm like, okay, I think, that while, like we were saying earlier with Glenn, not listing anything at all for months on end, like it's not going to necessarily kill you, but, well, you also pulled a bunch of stuff off. So that definitely had something to do with it too. But for me, I didn't list anything new for like 8 or 9 months last year. And the great news about that was that in the first part of that, I would say for the first 5 or 6 months of that, it was amazing. All I did was sell through stuff. But, then there was kind of diminishing returns at a certain point, and I was like selling through less and less. And then it was like, wow, my whole store just seems like really down, even though I still had 10,000 items, but I think not having that inflow of new inventory, whether it's, listing every single day or not, is another conversation. But just the regular addition of new, fresh, good, high quality inventory, like that was, going away, and it was really showing, and it really did hurt me. Like my sales were like so far below normal all of last year on average because of that. So, and like I was saying earlier, everything feels gradual sometimes when you have a big inventory. And so I started in earnest listing new stuff again in about October last year. And I'm just now seeing like, okay, we're back to normal. So that took 6 months for me, so that's worth noting. But I am glad to generally report that my sales for Q1 were better than I expected, frankly. And I wanted to have like high hopes, but I wanted to have realistic expectations about it too. So I'm pleasantly a little surprised and crossing my fingers that we can continue that this year.
Any Do we get a number for total sales or not?
Oh, I don't even know. Let's see. Yeah, so still, I mean, yeah, I guess I don't have to qualify this at all, but about 13,500.
Total
Which-
sales 13,500 more or less.
Yeah.
All right, for
For
Q1.
Q1.
Very
And like
nice.
like a lot of that was actually March. So January, February were still
okay.
pretty slow. Last December and November were like the lowest Q4 I ever had. So it is coming up out of a trend, I'm telling you. But
And
on we
Kenny
go.
total sales.
For Q1, we did. All right, I just lost the tab. This
bring it back.
78.9.
78,900.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Q1.
Q5.
Q5.
Yeah, exactly. I would not
There we
say mine
go.
was a Q5.
And then mine, total sales for Q1, $8,577.42.
And that's why you made us say ours. Takes
So
all
there we go.
kinds.
There we go.
Yeah.
You get the whole thing.
I love it though. It's
Yeah,
so
we're
good.
supposed to talk about that, but Glenn whatever Glenn says happens.
Well, mine was the lowest, so that helps.
Yeah.
helps.
It's the
Yeah,
truth. It's
that's not the
truthful.
true number. That's just eBay numbers, though.
That's just
Right.
eBay number.
Yeah.
That's just eBay.
What about your whatnot, Glenn?
Yeah.
All right, well, now we're going into
Can we
cross-listing.
please hear about it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mercari is
Oh, Mercari.
okay. Mercari,
Yeah, let's talk about that. Come on.
Mercari, which is cross-listed from List Perfectly.
Same.
Exactly. My Q1 is lower than eBay, obviously, but I did 1,480 on mine.
Heyo.
There we
you
go for Q1.
That's way more than I did on
That was
Mercari.
that was gas for the Lambo.
All right, are we ready? Whatnot Q1.
Yes.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Hey, can me and Anna guess? You gotta guess.
Sure, go
All
ahead.
right. I would say in 90 days, you could do 135.
Oh, here's the thing. It is 90 days, but I only streamed 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you gotta tell me the stream count.
I only streamed 3 times in December, though, so it's not really including the end of
What about this year?
March.
Just this year. What about this year?
just this year. Let
Oh,
me
is
see if I
it
can
just
edit the
like
dates.
I
This
see.
year.
Yeah,
What
it was
about
trying to
this
do
year?
like a full 90
Like
days,
3.
but
Yeah, like
What
3.
about
okay,
this
let
year?
me see.
From
Okay, let me start from
January 1.
January 1st.
Yeah.
then. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now we're done. Okay, January 1st through.
Okay, how many shows do you do?
Shows.
Man.
Hold on.
This is not.
4,
This is when you guys
7, 8.
will say Glenn's not human. He was human earlier. Now
I'll be
he's not
like,
human.
no wonder he got sick.
42 shows.
Oh,
42.
Yeah.
That's not
That's
bad.
not a lot. 42 shows from January 1st. So how many is
Yeah.
that?
That's how
per-
many weeks.
That's like 4.5 shows a
8.
week.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I only go on 4 times a week.
Oh,
What about those half shows?
Yeah, how did that happen? I don't know.
4.5.
how many
Yeah,
shows?
4 and
You
a
said
half.
40. How many shows?
42.
42. I would say 100. I'd say 100.
Just 100,000 equal.
100,000.
Okay.
100,000.
Man, I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm going to say 101,000. Because I want to beat
One
Ken.
more than Ken.
Yeah. So
All right. Total sales metrics for Q1 is 104,700.
I win. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Ken. There we go.
That-
So I go on 4 times a week. 4.5 times apparently.
4.5. Which half of you goes on? Another
Yeah.
time.
Really random. So my highest grossing, which was actually the no fees weekend.
Oh, the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I did one.
Oh, no fees.
I did. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
I did one show. It was just all fitted hats. That show was $5,358. I think I was on for.
Dang.
30 hours.
3
I think.
Whew. That
On
sounds
that
so exhausting. Again,
Streaming.
no wonder you got sick.
No,
I stand by my
No,
comment.
this guy's
No.
sick.
No, Glenn did one time. Didn't you do a 10-hour stream?
I think I think I tried, but I don't think I had enough inventory to really push. Because at the very end, things were just going way too cheap.
Yeah.
Because when
"We're
you're like
done
pushing
here."
when you're pushing out the same type of
Yeah.
products over and over.
Yeah, people will be like, "Oh, he's gonna have more. He's gonna have more."
Yeah,
And
they
then
get
stop
tired
bidding.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you
No,
gotta
that,
have
that
like
show was long, but I don't think it was that
probably
long.
like, what, 7, 8?
No. I think I
No?
only did like 4 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I really wanted it to be a long show, and I was like, yeah, they're not.
I
bidding
think our
anymore.
longest was like something like 5 hours, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how people used to do that.
We did like back to
24-hour
school.
ones.
Yeah, we did back to school. I think our most was like just regular without any activation. I think we did like 18,000 in like that long. But there
Wow.
were 3 of us. There were 3 of us working.
Mm.
So me, JC, and Rachel. So while we were like selling, they were like pretty packing it already. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really the shipping that gets you, right? You say like 44 hours, right? So I mean 44 shows. So
Yeah.
Glenn streamed 44 times and became a warehouse shipping employee 44 times.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So what I do is, I do have pretty much like I do one focus niche per show. So I try to do like jerseys and apparel, and then Snapback Tuesdays, and then so all the lower price stuff from eBay is now on Whatnot. So in case anyone's wondering, like, okay, what kind of switch and why did I do it?
Right.
Yeah.
The eBay side, don't get me wrong, snapbacks and fitted hats can sell on eBay all the time. But if you type in Lakers fitted, for example, you're gonna get thousands of results.
Yeah,
Right.
there's competition is way. There's just so
yeah,
much
it's-
competition.
Yeah, and so much lower price stuff, I guess, for entry though. I mean, for the normal, fitted hats have gone up though. Retail, right? Like they're like
Yeah.
$60, $50.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's way too much. But now there's been so much, I guess, of the
Sale.
same.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of things gone down on sale. For the most part, people are paying 25, 30, is a good price. So, I just got, I think on the eBay side of it, I was like, they're not moving as fast as I would like them to move for how quickly I'm getting them.
Yeah, your intake is
exactly.
way more. Opportunities came that I think that's one of the things, right? Like that you have to pivot. That
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what platform it is. It really varies on the intake. Cause like if my intake was faster, that means you're buying a lot, right? You're
Yeah.
spending money a lot. Now you have to exit out of that to get the capital back to be able to buy the next hauls, right?
Yeah.
So with kind of like your experience, you pretty much have a constant supply that you cannot, rely on 2,
Let
3
up.
hats a day.
Yeah.
Because you could be receiving 1,000 hats per day if
Yeah.
the supplier, meets that goal. So now it feels like that's the kind of like different beast, right? That you had to really, because I know like we were, streaming, like Anna said, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
tiring, right? But
Yeah.
but you have to readjust according to, I think, the intake. If you can source a lot, you gotta be able to sell a lot, and I
All
think
I'm
Whatnot's
hearing is-
perfect there.
Glenn is just working way harder than either of us.
Nah, that's not true.
Yeah.
I think,
That's what it sounds like.
but I definitely want to get my eBay at 100%. I mean, that is my next goal though, because now that I've kind of perfected like how this Whatnot site works.
Yeah,
Right.
I go live.
You're super efficient now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like pretty much like upload everything through the spreadsheet. So I'm not taking photos on anything on Whatnot. I'm not manually doing it on the phone.
Yep.
It's just all spreadsheet. Upload all of those. Go live for an hour. Hour and a half is max. I don't go anything past that. Except for that no fees one, I don't have a choice. There's no fees. Take full advantage.
You gotta do it. Yeah.
And then
Spend that
how long
hour.
do you fulfill?
It takes me exactly an hour to ship
Oh, so
So I have all the boxes are already
taped up and everything.
or
Like that,
they're
right?
already ready. They all fit in the same boxes because it's the hats. I'm
The
not
eBay
like,
boxes.
Yeah, I'm not looking around for hats. I mean, for boxes. They're
Can
already
you
the
make
same
like
box.
make like a sound effect of what it sounds like when you put a hat in a box?
Pretty much that ugly tape noise, like, and then just exactly. Then little poly bag noise, little thrust, and then you just put the hat in there.
Dude,
close
that'd
that
be
box
cool.
tape label.
That would be a cool.
And then
That would be
so good.
Right. That would be a cool content. I wonder, like, you're a content guy.
Reseller ASMR.
Yeah,
ASMR.
where's the content? That could be a time lapse, Glenn.
You're a content guy.
and then there we go.
I mean, he
done.
used to be.
He used to be. I know. That's another thing that's been. Man, when I got
Excuse you,
sick,
he's a YouTuber. Okay.
so hard to go out there and film. When I
I
got
bet.
sick too. When the wife got sick, especially because I was taking care of baby and wife, and then I was like, man, like, there's no videos going up. What's going on? And
No.
that feels like the YouTube and whatnot very similar. Like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
It's almost like the podcast didn't have any episode for 3 weeks in advance or something. Like, you know,
Yeah.
and there's nothing. You're kind of like, what's going on here?
Gotta
But-
keep him guessing, Glenn. Come on.
All right.
Yeah.
So the sales
he
have been
was
great
just
on here.
sick. Oh,
I
now
he was
you
just
know.
sick. He's fine. But I would say that I guess for the eBay side, yeah, they have to be more rare items than I have. Then I'm gonna definitely be doing that and get the ASP
Yeah.
up, keep the whatnot side going. But Ken is right though. If someone would ask, well, why didn't you do this earlier to keep like all items moving on whatnot and not do the eBay side? And the big difference is here is that while sourcing Ross, Burlington, all of that, even though I still do that now and I still have some of those items that I do need to list,
Eventually.
they were not coming in the same volume as this stuff is coming in.
Yes.
Like me and Ken would go source and we would find those items, but I wasn't getting 800 hats. And let's say we go into like a Burlington Ross, I'm not finding 800 pairs of shoes and apparel and hats all at once. So when you're picky and finding these items, which this could also go thrift wise too, you know, you're not going to be getting hundreds of pieces at
Right.
once. So when you're being picky at it, it's like, cool, like let me focus on these items, get them listed on the proper platform that's going to make me the most money for it, which is going to be eBay.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's kind of looking at right now.
Whatnot is kind of to your strategy like my big long tail inventory was to my strategy, because it's like there's kind of the everything pile and then there's like the cream of the crop, right? And so for me, like all of that stuff was on the same platform, but you know, I didn't ever feel any pressure to, oh my gosh, I just have to like constantly be sourcing this like really high dollar stuff, because I had this big inventory of like bread and butter stuff that would just sell through all the time. Now, a big wrench was thrown in that when I stopped listing for 9 months and I moved and like all of that. But like in a normal year, you know, that was kind of the plan that I've been building for years, was to kind of have that in place so that I could just over time replenish the better stuff only. And so now I'm like back in line with that basically. But, you know, it is interesting because there are differences, right? Like on eBay, it's like, well, all of my like okay bread and butter stuff that's going to sell for a decent price, like I still have to put in the time to list it on eBay, which is a different process than selling it on a live show.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's definitely some like efficiencies to what you're doing that mine doesn't have, but it's interesting to see like that in some ways they're a similar strategy.
Yeah, very, very true. So there we go. I guess analytics, if you wanted to compare different platforms on my
Okay.
side of things.
Yes, I was going to say, I have one more fun little platform thing to share with you guys.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was really excited to discover on List Perfectly's new listing, or their new like listing catalog interface that they have. We talked about that a little bit on the last episode, or in our Q&A episode. And there is a little sales and analytics tab on the left side of that. And guys, this is the first time ever, I'm so excited, that I have 1.08% of my sales from Q1 was on Depop.
Depop.
And 1.41% of my sales were on Mercari.
Mercari.
So actually with Depop and Mercari, my total actually for the quarter broke 14,000. So with those other platforms in there. So that's exciting. But I just think it's really cool that they have this really quick, easy to understand pie chart type of analytics little feature in here. And you can look at the last year of sales. You can look at the last 30 days of sales, 7 days, 90 days, and the last 24 hours or a custom time frame. And so I just wanted to put in a little plug for that because I've never had any sales besides eBay, until really recently. And I'm excited to be able to have like these visual snapshots. Like I'm literally taking screenshots of it so I can compare as I keep cross-listing more stuff to other platforms, how much of that pie ends up being on other platforms.
And Depop, no titles, so...
Yeah.
How do you just photos?
Yeah. Photos and description. And guess what? I've already had a cancellation request because, oops, I didn't realize what size this was because, oops, I didn't read anything in the listing. I just looked at the picture. So I'm just going to show you guys this. Our listeners can't see it, but I've started a pros and cons sticky note for each platform.
Oh.
Yep.
That sounds like a nice future episode.
She's tracking it. But
pros and cons of everything.
Yes. And it is very interesting. I mean, there really are noteworthy pros and cons for each one so far. Definitely have a knee-jerk like yes or no gut feeling about each one of them, but I'm still going to be playing out the pros and cons and getting some more experience and some more sales under my belt on each of them before I make any kind of decisions about am I going to continue cross-listing to that platform or not. So I'm doing that with every platform I'm trying. Etsy is my next one. I just put my first 2 things on Etsy with List Perfectly, so we'll see how that goes, but I'll keep you guys posted.
Okay, we're doing an episode on that, right?
Sure.
Okay,
we can.
I can. You know what? On Etsy, I was selling for my family business for quite a while, so I can throw in some Etsy.
They still sell there now? No.
Yeah, they still sell on Etsy.
Oh, cool. I sold on Etsy a long time ago, so I'm really
only the
with
stuff
it,
you've
too.
listed.
Yeah, only the stuff that I've listed. I know Ken. Well, remember Ken's pros and cons of Whatnot? Ken was like pro for Whatnot, fast sales. Con for Whatnot, fast loss. Fast losses.
It's so you can
So
make
fast.
money fast and you can lose money fast.
So incredibly fast.
Yeah, that was it.
Everything's just fast.
Yeah, it's just fast. It's just like it's just after an hour you realize you made money or you lost money. You lost a lot or you made a lot.
That sounds like too much mental math for me, actually.
It is really a roller coaster emotion. Me and Glenn would call each other after our shows because we would go back to back.
Yeah.
And he was like, and we would just like, oh, that was bloody.
Yeah.
And then next he's like, oh, I'm buying a Lamborghini next week.
Oh my gosh.
If we could repeat it over and over again, right? But again, the craziness of live selling, I think that would be another topic that we can talk about. But also, like, we are not even in it yet. Like TikTok live shopping is there. It's
eBay
Live, whatnot. I believe Fanatics Live has one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's just gonna be more platform, and
Yeah.
imagine if Instagram Live got on it already, because like they had the live feature way early, right?
Yeah.
I know. Why didn't they?
Even just the tip factor. You know what I'm saying? Because like people on TikTok are making so much money just like hanging out there talking to people. I'm like, it's like
exactly.
wild. But again, hey, all I know is, Glenn has taught me how to sell sneakers on eBay at one point in my life, so he could teach me how to live sell
Waiting for
again.
Glenn to teach us the next.
Yeah, that's
The
next iteration.
Yeah, the next iteration. Like, Glenn, how can we make more money? And
What's the next one?
Yeah. What's the next one? So we don't have to Google. We don't have to Google anything. All you gotta do is follow Hustler Hacks on YouTube or Instagram if he's still posting there.
Or
but
Seller
if not,
Club podcast.
if not,
What's
he
up?
will be in Seller Club.
Yeah.
He's,
Very true.
He is locked down, tied into Seller Club, based on our friendship contract.
Contractually obligated Glenn.
There we go.
Yeah.
No,
No,
but
but-
definitely Q2. I want to get the eBay numbers up, and definitely, I know people have been asking like, when are you and Ken going to do the live shows on Wednesdays? I really don't know when that's even really going to happen. I'm really enjoying this
sound busy.
break of not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't mind jumping in, like we said. Remember we said like once a month or something.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like touch back, but if I do come back and do stuff like that, my eBay numbers have to be on point. So
Oh.
Yeah,
that's
that's
my
your-
goal. That's my goal. That's my goal.
That'll be your
first.
treat for meeting your goal.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's pretty good. And I think, guys, I mean, this is a great conversation. We always gotta reevaluate, evaluate, assess, and figure out what's working and what's not working, and kind of like just what Glenn said. He wants to get his eBay back on track to where it was, or create a strategy that from the higher ASP product there, and to kind of like pivot along the way, perfect, polish a certain system. So with Anna clearancing out lower ASP items or
Yep.
older stuff, I am trying to become a better inventory warehouse manager, and JC at the same time. We're listing lower ASP clothing that we have a bunch of that we can make a lot of money on. So like the business evolves, and
Yeah.
and life evolves. And I think the cool part of the industry or the business we're in is it doesn't have a finish line.
Yeah.
So unless we all three have bought our green Lamborghinis, I think we're still here. I think we're
Yeah.
still.
I think so too. And yeah, there's so much more than just selling stuff that's involved in this business too. And all of that continues to evolve, and we love being able to share it with people. So
Yep.
that's why we're here.
Yeah. So, guys, just want to remind you guys to make sure follow eBay for sellers. We are officially partnered with eBay, and we are going to be working more with them. We just did our first interview with them. Keep tuning in, because we're going to be interviewing more eBay people, and we're going to be doing more eBay projects together. And we haven't forget our banger eBay giveaway is still cooking up. It's just, let's just say it's simmering. It's
I was just
marinating.
going to say that.
Right? Because once it comes out, it's just gonna be an explosion of. I mean, we're letting you guys know this ahead of time to get your confettis ready. Get your confettis
Get your popcorn ready.
Pep-
Let
Start
Ken
cutting up colored
Yeah.
tissue paper
Exactly,
now.
because when we announce it, man, I mean, start growing your flowers, because they might be just petals across the hallway, the red carpet petals.
The imagination on this one.
Yeah,
let
exactly.
Let Ken cook.
Yeah. Let me cook. Let me
Let 'em
cook.
cook.
Let me. But guys, we appreciate you all. And again, all that to say huge shout out to eBay, one of our sponsors, and also
List Perfectly, our other sponsor. And definitely, if you want to check out that fun little sales and analytics thing I was talking about, go check out the new listing dashboard, or listing catalog. I keep calling it a dashboard. I just think of everything as a dashboard. But that's available on all plans. And if you want to try it, you can use our code, which is Ken.
Seller Club Pod to get 30% of your first month.
Yeah, so check it out.
And with that, Glenn, anything else?
I think we're done. I think we're ready to go. Next
All right.
episode will be set.
All right, that is a wrap.
See ya.